Today begins a new season of Cleveland Browns football as we start in Week 1. The Bengals at home, and then the Ravens in Week 2 on the road in Baltimore. Couple of AFC North rivals will get to play for the first time, and two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL with Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. Last episode, we went through the preseason. We finished with a record of 1-2, but more important than the team results is that we got to see a lot of the young guys in action. Players like Mike Hall and Carson Schlesinger really stood out positively. And of course, the quarterback battle, we got to see a lot of Shedeur Sanders and plenty of Dillon Gabriel as well. We had to make some tough decisions cutting the roster down, but our 53-man roster for Week 1 is not actually finalized yet. At the end of the last episode, I hinted that there are a number of players across free agency that I'd be interested in. One man's trash is another man's treasure, especially for a team like the Browns, who, on paper, are worse than just about everyone in the NFL. Now, of course, Cleveland just made a big move the other day, signing Isaiah Bond. The undrafted rookie wide receiver out of Texas had all of the charges against him dropped. It's an extremely on-brand decision for the Cleveland Browns to sign him, 15 minutes after the charges against him were removed. This organization, of course, has not really cared about character red flags or off-field issues within the past few years. And even in the case of Isaiah Bond, even with the charges being dropped, it does show that the organization is sort of tone deaf by signing him immediately. But regardless, we are going to add him to the team, and I think this is going to be a fun addition for us. He's not going to wear number 14 because that number is retired by the Browns. He's actually going to wear number 11. But it gives us a fast, explosive wide receiver who at one point in time was a fringe top 100 draft pick before he ended up going undrafted because of the allegations made against him. I think it's going to take a few weeks for him to get up to speed with the playbook, but I think sooner rather than later, he could have a role for us. It's a little ironic that we ended up signing him because I was going to add Tez Johnson, but since those skill sets are kind of redundant, I think I'm only going to add Tez Johnson to the practice squad. We're also going to add Mekhi Wingo to the practice squad. I'm surprised he didn't make the 53-man roster for the Lions. I thought he showed some good things before he got hurt last year. And then joining the 53-man roster, we're going to sign Caleb Farley, former first-rounder from Virginia Tech. Go Hokies. We had him in the Titans franchise in Madden 23 and the Dragons franchise in Madden 24. Super talented prospect who just has not been able to stay healthy at all. David Ojabo from the Ravens, a toolsy, raw edge rusher who didn't really work out there. And then Carson Vincent, a rookie from Alabama A&M, off of the Ravens practice squad. So those three guys will join the fold for us as we now get set to look at the start of the year and look at who we're going to start at quarterback. And as we look at the early part of the season, it is a brutal schedule. Cincinnati, Baltimore, right off the bat against Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. Then the Packers, the Lions, and the Vikings in London, three playoff teams from last year. And then the Steelers in Week 6. They have a phenomenal defense. So that early stretch is going to be a huge challenge. And because of that, I think it would be a disservice to either of the rookies to start them. So because of that, we are going to roll with Joe Flacco, and it seems like this is what you guys wanted us to do. I think this makes the most sense for us. We have a brutal schedule to open up the season, and thrusting either of the rookies in there, I think would be a mistake, and it would stunt their development. So the plan is that Joe Flacco will open up the season as the starter. After having a great preseason, Shedeur Sanders will be the number 2. So if Flacco gets hurt or he gets benched, Shedeur Sanders will be first in line to come into the game, and then Dillon Gabriel will be the third stringer. Otherwise, this is what the rest of the offense is going to look like, especially in terms of the skill position, guys. It's very much going to be a rotation. The running back position, for example, will be a committee, with both of the rookies playing a lot. At wide receiver, we'll see plenty of Jabari Thrash, David Bell, Isaiah Bond at some point, and then Harold Fannin as well. Defensively, I'm super excited about these rookies, Carson Schlesinger and Mason Graham. Mike Hall is going to play a lot after his outstanding preseason as well. Let's take a look at our Week 1 opponent, the Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC North. One of the big reasons why I chose the Browns was going to be this challenging conference and specifically division with all these great quarterbacks, including this guy, Joe Burrow, who's a 94 overall, one of just 4 quarterbacks currently in the NFL above a 90 overall. He's in that tier 1 with guys like Lamar Jackson, who we're going to see next week, Josh Allen, and of course, Patrick Mahomes. It also doesn't hurt that he gets to throw to one of the best receivers in the NFL, and Ja'Marr Chase. And T. Higgins as a number 2 is really good as well. The Bengals defense, though, is not pretty. They were able to get Trey Hendrickson out of his holdout. He will play. And, of course, the drama with rookie Shamar Stewart is over. He will be out there as well. But outside of their quarterback and skill position room, the rest of the roster is lacking a little bit. A big reason why they missed the playoffs a season ago. So with that, season number 1 is underway at the Browns franchise. It's Isaiah Bond, the rookie from Texas, on the return. And he is tripped up at around the 29-yard line. Let's take a look at the Cleveland offense. Joe Flacco, at 40 years old, leads the way. Let's get wacko for Flacco, everyone. He rejuvenated the Browns in 2023, leading them to a playoff spot as he goes short for the tight end, David Njoku, down the sideline. What a start. It's a gain of 44. We're a minute into the game, and the Browns already had the ball in the red zone. David Njoku played the best ball of his career in the back end of 2023 with Joe Flacco at the helm as he goes short for the other tight end. Harold Fannin Jr.'s first NFL catch goes for around 7. That'll make it 3rd and 2 with Quinshon Judkins in at running back. Flacco looks to throw it, and it's batted away by Jordan Battle. The Bengals get the stop, and we're going to take the points. I thought about going for it, but it's a 26-yarder for Dustin Hopkins. His kick is good, and it's 3-0. Hopkins, one of 3 of our new team captains, along with David Njoku and Jerome Baker, joining our previous captains, Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, and Joel Bitonio. We decided to strip Deshaun Watson of his captaincy for reasons that you all can probably figure out. As Chase Brown loses a yard, it's Grant Delpit who brings him down. 3rd and 11. Burrow looking deep. Down the field, it's caught. Chase Brown, the 3rd-year running back from the University of Illinois, gets it past the 50 to the 47. 2nd and 1 now for the Bengals. They're moving it well down the field. Brown looks to cut to the outside. He's going backwards. It's Carson Schlesinger, who tied for the NFL's lead in tackles during the preseason with 25, including 17 in the first game against Carolina. Burrow under pressure, throws it away. It's Myles Garrett off the edge. He beats Mims, and that'll bring out the field goal team. It's a 45-yarder for Evan McPherson to put Cincinnati on the board. His kick is up, and it is good. We're knotted up at 3. Both teams start the season with field goals on their opening drives. Flacco up the middle. He's got Jerome Ford with plenty of room to the 36. It's a gain of 29 for Ford, who could have had an even bigger run if, his launch speed was a little better. But a big play there for Cleveland. As on 3rd and 8, Flacco under pressure, cannot escape. Trey Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart with half a sack each, and that'll put the Browns out of field goal range. A bad decision by Flacco. Cincinnati's got it back. What a spin move by Brown. Chase Brown to the 48, wrapped up by Schlesinger. He had Jerome Baker flying on that play in the backfield. Brown gets it back, and he will lose a couple. Grant Delpit, another TFL, as it's 2nd and 12, under a minute left in the quarter. Burrow wide open, he's got Chase! Off to the races, a 50-yard touchdown! Cincinnati takes the lead. Burrow and Chase connect for the first time this year as Greg Newsome gets left on the island. Ja'Marr Chase beats him off the line. Newsome was in press man coverage, and he lost that rep really quickly. 10-3, your score through 1. Joe Burrow, Ja'Marr Chase, right back in the swing of things. The Bengals are a team who historically have not played well early in seasons, as Flacco overthrows for Fannin. Cincinnati changed their approach in the preseason, playing many of their starters to get these guys ready for Week 1, and it's clearly worked as Ja'Marr Chase gets the first down from the 48 now. Burrow in the zone, up the middle. Chase again. He is torching this secondary, bringing it to the 25. It doesn't matter who's covering him. On that play, it was Denzel Ward. Greg Newsome's had him a couple of times. It does not matter. as that one is hauled in on first down by Mike Gesicki. Breaking tackles, somehow getting the first down to the 13. And this offense is firmly in rhythm. Burrow to Brown, gets a block. Chase Brown is in for a touchdown. And the Bengals now have 17 unanswered points. Their offense has exploded, and we've got to respond with 8 minutes to go in the quarter. Quinshon Judkins, first NFL handoff, breaks a tackle, gets out of traffic. Judkins down the field. It's a gain of 40 for the rookie out of the Ohio State University, the alma mater of new Browns head coach Puma Whitlock. Welcome to the NFL, Quinshon Judkins. Flacco looking for Deontay Johnson. It's dropped. That'll make it a 4th and 1, and we're going to keep the offense out on the field. It's the rookie Judkins in at running back with Flacco. His second career carry is a 4th down conversion. He only got a yard or two, but that's all he needs to keep the chains moving. 3rd and 10 now at the 27. Flacco goes short. Judkins has it again inside the 10 to the 5, a gain of 22. Where has this kid come from? After missing most of training camp in the preseason, he clearly has not missed a beat. 2nd and goal, Njoku wide open, waltzes into the end zone for a touchdown, and the Cleveland Browns are going to make it a game as it's 17-10. First touchdown of the year for the Browns, Ed Njoku, who's in a contract year, and with Joe Flacco back at quarterback, I think we could be looking at a big year for Big 85 and possibly a big payday. Whether that's here or elsewhere is still to be determined. Bengals back with it. Burrow, first play of the drive, throws it up for Kayshon Boutte. And the Bengals respond within one play. 70 yards for Boutte, who did not make the final 53-man roster in New England. The Bengals picked him up, another LSU Tiger, and it's 24-10. Dylan Sampson, his first career handoff, goes to the 47-yard line, a gain of around 15 for the rookie from Tennessee. All 3 of our running backs with explosive runs early. Jerry Jeudy now on the RPO, gets it to the 30. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning, 24-10 lead for the Bengals. No shortage of offense in this game, as Judkins is thrown backwards by his fellow rookie Shamar Stewart, who's had an impressive debut for the Bengals. It's a loss of 2. 2nd and 12, Flacco up the middle. He's got Jeudy. Juke move. Jeudy not quite in the end zone. Tackled at the 1. We're not going to call our timeout. We're not going to hurry up. We are in no rush. We do not want the Bengals to have time with the ball. With just 10 seconds left, it's number 10. Quinshon Judkins, his first career touchdown in the NFL. And this Cleveland offense has really responded nicely in the second quarter. We kind of figured the Bengals were going to have a big day on the offensive side of the ball, given the talent they have at quarterback and wide receiver, and that's been the case. But our offense has matched the test. Back-to-back scoring drives for Joe Flacco and his Cleveland Browns. Going into the break, we've got a high-scoring start, 24-17. I was really excited about our first halftime show of the year. Unfortunately, the halftime highlights didn't work, which is weird because they worked just fine in week 2. I still want to give you guys some highlights, though, so we're going to go through the weekly recap a little bit early, but obviously I'm not going to show our game. We'll start in Lambeau, Packers and Lions, a rainy one, but it was Jared Goff and Detroit who got the better of Green Bay 27-24, headlined by this touchdown from Amon-Ra St. Brown. Big start to the year for the Lions, who won 15 games a year ago and broke my heart by losing in the divisional round of the playoffs. As for the other 2 teams in the NFC North, first career start for J.J. McCarthy as he leads his Vikings against the Chicago Bears. It was Caleb Williams, though, who out-dueled the fellow 2024 first-rounder, connecting in the back of the end zone with the rookie Colston Loveland for his first NFL score. The Bears beat Minnesota 24-8 as they start the year 1-0. As for this game, we've had a lot of offense so far. Both teams really moving it well here in the second quarter. Joe Burrow has been as close to automatic as it gets. Our coverage has been terrible. Our pass rush has been non-existent. And he is slinging it with this defense. These stats are not right, though. Chase Brown does not have 71 yards, and Quinshon Judkins also does not have 71 yards. So the graphic is off. Good job, EA. As that'll bring us into the third quarter. Bengals start with the ball. Brown loses a couple as he's wrapped up by Malik Collins. That'll make it a 3rd and 4. Burrow looks to throw it under pressure, and he will throw it away. Myles Garrett in the backfield with the hit. We need to finish off some of these plays, but it's good to see Garrett at least in the backfield getting some pressures. Browns back with it, 3rd and 4. That one is hauled in. Cedric Tillman for the first down. He had a busy preseason, showed some good and some not so good. 3rd and 1 at the 49. Some trickery. Judkins does not get it. The Bengals see it coming. Oren Burks brings him down. 4th and inches at around the 50. I think it's too early to do something crazy, so we decided to punt the ball. Bengals have it back. Neither offense starting the second half particularly strong. With a receiver in motion, Burrow will look to throw it. He's got an open man. Ja'Marr Chase, who else? 5 catches, 112 yards for Uno, last year's receiving Triple Crown winner. Would have won the Offensive Player of the Year, I think, most seasons, but Saquon Barkley ran for 2,000 yards and led the Eagles to the Super Bowl. Chase Brown loses 3. Jerome Baker and the rookie, Carson Schlesinger, bring him down. 2nd and 13 at the 40 now for the Bengals. Burrow alone in the backfield going empty. Looks to throw it up the middle. Wide open is Gesicki. Needed to get one of those safeties towards the middle part of the field. I know it looked like Schlesinger got beat, but that wasn't his zone. From the 17, Gesicki again. Not quite in the end zone. He's stopped at the 1 by Schlesinger. The Bengals are really close, though, looking to make it a 2-score lead. Burrow hands it off. Brown thrown to the ground. Jerome Baker's had a really nice game. The first-time team captain who's really stepped up as a leader this offseason, especially as a mentor for Schlesinger. Brown on 2nd and goal. He is in for a score, and the Cincinnati Bengals are back in the end zone. They'll make it a 2-score game. 31-17. Brown showing off the dance moves. His 2nd trip to the end zone this afternoon. Cleveland back with it. Flacco looking deep. He's got Judy to the 33-yard line. We haven't had that many consistent drives, but we've had a lot of splash plays, which I guess is a good thing. That'll wrap up the 3rd, unable to get the playoff in time. 31-17, Bengals lead it into the 4th. Our offense had a quiet 3rd quarter, and we've only scored 3 points outside of the impressive final few minutes of the 2nd quarter. So we certainly need our offense to be a little more consistent. We're obviously going to need some points on this drive if we want any chance to win this game, as it's a 3rd down and 10 at the 20. Jerome Ford joins Flacco in the backfield. Flacco up the middle. It is broken up, incomplete, as Joel Bitonio is hurt. That's not good. Tillman the intended target. I thought about going for it because we really got to make it a 1-score game, but there's still 9 minutes left, and it's 4th and 10, not 4th and 2. So the field goal is good for Hopkins. It's 31-20. Still a 2-score game. Defense has really got to get a stop here. Burrow on 2nd and 8. He's got Brown. Breaks the tackle. Brown with the first down. He is wrapped up at the 48 by Rayshon Jenkins. Trusting this defense against Joe Burrow, given how good he's played today, maybe was not the brightest idea. 2nd and 5. Burrow calls for an audible. He's got Brown. Good tackle by Jerome Baker. And that'll bring us to a pivotal 3rd down and 2. Biggest play of the game so far. Burrow and empty. Looks to throw it. Goes to the sideline. It's T. Higgins. His first catch of the game. He's been quiet, but he gets a huge first down. Burrow's got Gesicki. He's had a big afternoon. Gets it to the 22-yard line. Injured after the play, though. Gesicki at right around 100 yards today. From the 22, Burrow scrambles on the run. He's got Chase. He beats Denzel Ward, and the Bengals add to the lead. 2nd touchdown today for Ja'Marr Chase. Denzel Ward has had a rough season debut. He did not play really at all in the preseason, and he is getting shoved into a locker by Ja'Marr Chase. 3-score lead, not looking good as Flacco misfires for Jerry Jeudy. 4th and 6 with 5.5 minutes to go. What do we have to lose? We might as well go for it at this point in the game. As Flacco surveys up the middle, it's Judkins to the 43. That'll keep the drive going. Judkins with it on the ground with a juke move. Still going forward, pushing to the 41. We've got to keep the pace up, though. Go no huddle as much as we can. 2nd and 2, around 3.5 minutes left. Fannin tries to juke away from Logan Wilson. He cannot, but he does get the first down, and we're going to continue to go tempo. Play action. Flacco under pressure. He's thrown down by B.J. Hill. Second sack of the game for the Bengals. We still have none, for what it's worth, as it's 3rd and 11. Flacco up the middle, jarred out of the hands of Fannin. Threw it just a second too late, and that'll make it a 4th and 11 at the 28. Flacco up the middle, broken up again. He was looking for the rookie, Isaiah Bond, his first NFL target, and Cincinnati gets it back, looking to seal the deal. 3rd and 7, Burrow goes short. Gesicki will get the first down by centimeters. And we've got to start calling our timeouts. 2nd and 8 at the 41. First down ends it for good. Brown up the middle. He gets it. And that should just about seal the deal. Jerome Baker's hurt, though. So maybe not, because we don't have to use a timeout there. 2nd and inches, minute 37 to go. With a man in motion, Burrow under center. Hands it off to Samaje Perine, and that will do it definitively. The Bengals on the road put up 38 on the Browns, winning at 38-20. We showed some good things. Our offense had the impressive stretch in the second quarter. We had a lot of explosives, particularly on the ground. All three of Jerome Ford, Quinshon Judkins, and Dylan Sampson each had big runs. Flacco had a couple big plays through the air, but the defense just could not keep up with number 9. Joe Burrow was electric. I will say, Joe Burrow was doing this on the regular towards the end of last year, but still not ideal when he has the same amount of touchdowns as incompletions. We did not send much pressure. The coverage was bad. As for Flacco, pretty solid. Nothing crazy, but he wasn't bad. Chase Brown only averaged 2.5 yards per carry. I thought the run defense was really good. And then the rushing offense was a little inconsistent on a play-by-play basis. Judkins obviously had an impressive debut, though, with roughly 100 yards from scrimmage through the air. Gesicki, Brown, and of course Jamar Chase, very impressive. For us, it was Njoku and Judy who led the way. And then defensively, the run defense was good, particularly the linebackers. Schlesinger and Baker were really good at run defense, but the defensive line gave us nothing, and the secondary was not great. Let's take a look at some scores around the rest of the NFL. I'm sorry, does that say 50? The Broncos put up 50 on Tennessee. Bo Nix, 4 touchdowns. He added 1 on the ground as well, while Cam Ward had a very rough day in the office. I mean, Denver does have one of the best defenses in the NFL. It'll happen. Players of the week, Jaden Daniels. Bo Nix takes it over Joe Burrow. Trayvon Diggs and Danielle Hunter. I'm a little relieved Burrow didn't win it, and obviously as a Bo Nix fan, I'm happy to see him there. Week 2, we're headed on the road against the Ravens. They won their first game of the year, Sunday Night Football against the Bills. Josh Allen did not have a good game at all. Severely outplayed by Lamar Jackson, completed 82% of his passes while rushing for nearly 100 yards. And the Ravens did this without Derrick Henry, who got injured in the preseason, did not play against the Bills, but he will play today. Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, is the best quarterback right now in the NFL. I thought he got robbed for the MVP a season ago. And it certainly is not going to make things much easier when you factor in that he has a healthy Derrick Henry in the backfield. I really think in 15 or 20 years, we're going to look back at this team and wonder how in the hell did we let possibly at that point a top 10 quarterback all time and probably a top 10 running back of all time shared the same backfield, especially being two physical aliens that we have with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. The Ravens offense in 2024 finished 5th in DVOA all time, dating back to 1950. This was a historically good unit. And when you factor in that Lamar is only getting better and better, this team should be at the top of the Super Bowl contention list for years to come. They've got a really solid receiving core, adding DeAndre Hopkins to an already good group with Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, a really good tight end room, and then a phenomenal defense. It's crazy that Kyle Hamilton is the 5th highest rated player of the group. I would say he's their best player defensively. And then to add to how scary this group is, they signed Christian Wilkins as well. So this team is nuts. probably the best roster head to toe in the NFL, and in my opinion, the best quarterback in the NFL. So having these guys in our division this year and then going forward is going to be very challenging and very frightening. Staying afloat in this division with a team like Baltimore always in the mix is going to be really challenging because the Ravens are going to be good the entirety of the series with Lamar Jackson at quarterback and this good of a roster. So we're certainly in for it, not just today, but over the next 5+ years. The Browns will be without starting left tackle Cornelius Lucas. He broke his finger in the loss against the Bengals, so DeJuan Jones will get the start at left tackle. 3rd down and 2. Cleveland starts on offense as that one is batted away. Kyle Hamilton with the deflection. David Njoku, the intended target. We'll take our first look at the Ravens offense. Read option. Lamar Jackson getting right to it. Gets by the defender and is out of bounds for a quick gain to the 42. Jerome Baker is hurt. One of the lone bright spots for us defensively last week. As it's 2nd and 10 for Baltimore. Isaiah Likely in motion. Lamar's going to keep it on the option up the middle. Another big run for Lamar Jackson. He gets 18 yards. And the 2-time MVP winner already quickly getting to work. Incomplete for Hopkins. Lamar is 0 for 3 within the first 2 minutes of the game. Joe Burrow threw 3 incompletions in the entire game in week 1. But guess what? It doesn't matter that Lamar's been inefficient through the air because he's got his legs running for another first down. From the 30, delayed handoff for Derrick Henry, and he loses a yard. Carson Schlesinger leads the way. Cody Whitehair hurt for Baltimore. As Henry is thrown to the ground, a loss of 5. Myles Garrett brings him down. Had a quiet week 1 outside of a couple of pressures, as that one is caught on 3rd down. Zay Flowers does not get the first down, though. Rayshon Jenkins brings him down. And that'll bring out the field goal unit with their new kicker. Tyler Loop, the rookie out of Arizona, connects from 33. And the Ravens are on the board. They lead 3-0. Joe Flacco and empty on 2nd and 9. Looking deep. He's got his man, David Njoku, to the 30. Wrapped up quickly by the first-round rookie Malachi Starks. 3rd and 10 now. Flacco looks to throw it. He's got Njoku again inside the 10. A gain of 21. The chemistry between Flacco and David Njoku clearly showing early as Cleveland has it in the red zone looking to take the lead. 3rd and goal at the 9. Flacco under pressure, overthrows his target. He was looking for Harold Fannin, and that'll bring out the field goal unit. 26-yarder for Hopkins. His kick is good, and the Browns tie it at 3. Baltimore gets it back. The first drive aided by Lamar's legs. As he is sacked on 3rd down, it's Myles Garrett. First of the year for Garrett. First sack of the year for our team as a whole. And the Browns will get it back. Just 5 seconds left in the quarter. Flacco's going to go for the screen. It's Jerome Ford. Whoop! Jukes away from Marlon Humphrey, and he brings it to the 43. That will wrap up the first quarter here in Baltimore. A slow start for the Browns. We've really got things going over the last few minutes with an impressive drive, a 3rd down sack from Myles Garrett, and now a nice first down by Jerome Ford appears to have the offense in business once again. We'll see if we can continue to move the ball down the field as it's 2nd and 8. Flacco intercepted. Roquan Smith picks it off for the Ravens, and Flacco is going to turn it over for the first time this year. The all-pro linebacker, Roquan Smith, lurking towards the middle of the field, comes down with the ball, and the Ravens will start with good field position at the opposing 47. On first down with Isaiah Likely in motion. Puma Whitlock's former teammate with the Dragons. As that one is hauled in, Mark Andrews gets by Newsome, and Mandrews is off to the races. He's in for a touchdown, and the Ravens will take the lead 10-3. It's a 1-play drive, a 47-yard score from Lamar Jackson to Mark Andrews, who actually holds onto the ball here, unlike the playoff game in Buffalo last year. And so that'll make it 10-3. Flacco's got a rebound. 2nd and 7 up the middle. Harold Fannin, the rookie from Bowling Green State. I've been saying he's going to play everywhere, and that's certainly been the case so far. In-line tight end, slot receiver. We might get him outside receiver at some point. As Sampson only gets a yard on 3rd down. The rookie from Cal, Teddy Buchanan, is there to bring him down, and we're going to go for it here on 4th and 2. The game suggested we punted. I figured if we don't go for it, I would have kicked it. As Jerome Ford does not get it. Roquan Smith and Trenton Simpson bring him down. The Ravens with the stop, and they will get it back on offense. Lamar on the option, breaks away from Schlesinger, and he is tracked down by Denzel Ward. Schlesinger's got to bring him down in the backfield, but that was a really good job by Denzel Ward to disengage off his block, because if he doesn't do that, that could have been a touchdown for Lamar. And then on 2nd and 6, look at this. Schlesinger rebounds as he does bring him down behind the line of scrimmage, and that'll make it a 3rd down and 7 with 3 to go in the half. Lamar looks to throw it, runs up the middle, and is slammed to the ground by Myles Garrett. Only a gain of 3, and that'll bring out the field goal team. Tyler Loop made one earlier, this kick from 47 to add to the lead for the Ravens. It is up, and it is good. 13-3 as Joe Tryon-Shoyinka is hurt after the play. 3 points against this offense is not going to be good enough. We've got to get rolling on this side of the ball. As David Njoku comes down with another one, he has had a monster first half for the Browns, bringing it to the 49-yard line. That'll make it a 2nd and 10 now, nearing the 2-minute warning. Up the middle, Jerome Ford fumbles the ball! And it's picked up by Baltimore. Kyle Hamilton punches it out, and Jair Alexander recovers. I don't think we're going to need to review that one. That was clearly a fumble, and the Browns turn it over for a 2nd time this quarter. Big hit by Hamilton and an easy scoop for Jair Alexander. The Ravens now have the chance to really make this a comfortable lead. 2nd and 1 at the 49. Lamar calls for a switch at the line, looks to throw it. Jackson under pressure, it's Mason Graham! First career sack for the 5th overall draft pick from Michigan. Ravens would get the first down, though, the following play. Lamar up the middle for Andrews. Big-time throw, and then a big-time hit by Delpit at the 25. 2nd and 3, roughly 30 seconds left in the half, as it's going to be a fake jet sweep. Henry trucks off of Cam Thomas, but Thomas is still there to help bring him down. Derrick Henry has had nothing going on the ground in this first half. 3rd and 6 now from the 21. Ravens are going to call a timeout here with just 4 seconds left. They wasted all the time, and they're just going to go for the field goal now. 38-yarder for Loop. His kick is up, and it is good. Number 33 is now 3 for 3. And that will wrap up the first half. A 16-3 lead for the Ravens as we take a look at our halftime report with actually proper halftime highlights. As we will start things off in Lambeau. The Packers lost last week to Detroit, facing off against the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week, Jaden Daniels. It was the Packers who ended up winning this game with this incredible touchdown by Christian Watson, 23-21. The Packers next week headed to Cleveland to face off against the Browns. And they'll get to do it on a long week as well. Next up, we are headed to Pittsburgh, 1-0 Steelers against the Seattle Seahawks in the battle of Russell Wilson's former teams. Currently, it's Pittsburgh on top with this touchdown by Pat Freiermuth. They lead 14-10 at the break. We'll see if the Steelers can make it 2-0. And then we head to South Beach, 1-0 Patriots, 0-1 Dolphins. It's New England currently on top. We, of course, saw a big game last week from Quinshon Judkins. Here is his Ohio State counterpart, Travion Henderson, in the end zone with a score, 17-10 lead for New England. And then here are some other scores across the rest of the NFL. The Lions being shut out. Can't say I appreciate that. As for this game, I think the defenses look a lot better compared to Week 1. Now, Lamar Jackson's been very effective on the ground. 8 carries. He's got around 75 yards. Derrick Henry, though, 5 carries for just 8 yards. We've been better at the line of scrimmage. Both Myles Garrett and Mason Graham have sacks. The coverage has been better, although Lamar has completed 10 passes in a row. We've got to get more going on offense, though, and it does not help that we do not start with the ball. The Ravens will open up with it here in the third. Starting at the 29, first play of the second half. Isaiah Likely in motion. He will move over to the left. Play action. Lamar looks to throw it. Lamar wants it all. He's intercepted. Greg Newsome picks it off. Newsome with blocks to the right side past the 50 and is eventually tracked down by Isaiah Likely at the 41. Cleveland forces a turnover on the first play at the half. It's Greg Newsome, a contract year for him. Struggled in week 1, but he has looked great today. That was a good route, too, by Zay Flowers. Lamar just did not put enough on that ball. And Newsome comes down with it for the Browns, and the door all of a sudden is wide open again for Cleveland. 3rd and 1 at the 32. Flacco looks to throw it, and it's incomplete. He airmails Jerry Jeudy. We're going to go for it on 4th and 1. 0 for 1 so far on 4th down. That's Judkins in the backfield, and he is thrown to the ground by Trenton Simpson. With no regard for human life, the Ravens get the stop, and the interception by Newsome proves to not really be a big deal. As Lamar loses 2, Jerome Baker brings him down. Got a little banged up after that play, but still forces the loss. That'll make it a 3rd and 12. Lamar looks to throw it. Lamar on the run. Big hit by Delpit, ripping it away from Hopkins. Lamar in the first 2 minutes of the game went 0 for 3. The rest of the first half, he went 10 for 10. In the first 2 minutes of the second half, he's 0 for 3. Does that mean he's going to go 10 for 10 the rest of the way? I sure hope not. 3rd and 9 up the middle. Flacco's got Jeudy for the first down to the 42-yard line. The defense is getting stops here in the second half. It's up to the offense now to wake up at some point and bring ourselves back into the game. 3rd and 9 at the 43. Flacco looks to throw it. He's got David Njoku pushed out by Hamilton. Njoku now with a C-note. 7 catches, 100 yards with still roughly 6 to go in the third. Jerome Ford has the Red Sea parted for him as he gains around 14 yards. And finally, the offense is showing some signs of life. We've been needing this all game. From the 31, Flacco looks to throw it. He'll go short. It's Ford. Jukes out both defenders. I did not know Jerome Ford had this kind of wiggle. He's done that through the air a couple times today. Sampson in the backfield now. 2nd and 7. Nice grab. Fannin to the 4. Wrapped up by Ardarius Washington. 1st and goal. Sampson wrapped up in the end zone for a touchdown. The rookie from Tennessee, Dylan Sampson, with his first NFL touchdown. The youngest player in the National Football League, makes it a one-score game, and all of a sudden, we're right back in it. Let's see if the defense can get a stop here. Only down by 6. We've looked good on this side of the ball so far in the third. 3rd down and 12. Lamar looks to throw it. Scrambles around. He is sacked! Myles Garrett beats Rosengard, and once again, his 2nd sack of the game. And the Ravens are going to have to punt it. They have 0 first downs in the third quarter. Flacco, no one's open. He has to throw it away. And it's decision time. 4th and 6 at the 40. I think we're too far away to kick a field goal, and I don't think we're close enough to go for it, so we're going to punt it. 3rd and 7 at the 9. Clearly a good punt by Corey Bojorquez, as that one is caught. Likely with the first down. It's a gain of 9, wrapped up by Schlesinger. Finally, the Ravens get a first down, as that'll bring us into the fourth quarter. Cleveland has it within 6. 16-10. A great quarter for us defensively. It started with the interception by Greg Newsome. Myles Garrett with a big sack, and the Ravens really have not been able to move the ball since the start of the third quarter. Coach Puma Whitlock clearly has done a good job adjusting to how well this offense played in the first half as Lamar floats it up. He's got Andrews over Schlesinger. There goes Andrews all the way to the 10. It's a gain of 69. Nice. For Mark Andrews. And just like that, the Ravens with a jolt of energy as Derrick Henry is in for a score. The King has entered his castle, and the Ravens are going to go for 2. Lamar and Henry in the backfield with a receiver in motion. Henry thrown to the ground by Myles Garrett. The 2-point try unsuccessful, but a big start to the fourth for the Ravens. Loop will kick it off. Isaiah Bond will receive it. And here comes Bond with a block from Schlesinger down the field. Bond all the way to the 50. Cleveland will get great starting field position, looking to make it a one-score game. RPO for Judy. Gets a good block late from Deontay Johnson, and he gets it to the 37-yard line. Following play, Flacco looks to throw it up the middle. Deontay Johnson rewarded for his block. He makes the catch, the former Raven. Now a 3rd and 1 at the 16. Judkins does not get it. Our run game really has not been impressive today. That's Roquan Smith. 4th and 3, we're going to go for it. We're 0 for 2. Third time's got to be the charm, right? Flacco overthrows Njoku. The Browns are 0 for 3 on 4th downs. And we'll see if the Ravens can look to ice this one for good. From the 17-yard line, there's Likely in motion. I imagine they're going to run the ball a lot, choose some clock. Here's Derrick Henry. Good start to the drive to the 33. Henry has had a quiet game, but certainly has come along in the second half. 2nd down, Lamar keeps it on the option. Gets a block from Ricard. Another one from Hopkins, and there he goes. 25-20, wrapped up at the 16. A gain of 51 for Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens have it in the red zone. 2nd and 10 now. Lamar hands it off. Derrick Henry. He will, oh my God! Annihilates Rayshon Jenkins. And the King returns to the throne. 2nd touchdown of the game for Derrick Henry. It's 29-10. And we've really got to move fast. There's a good run for Judkins. His first good run of the game. From the 46 now with 3:15 to play. Flacco will look to throw it up the middle. Quick pass, quick catch. It's Judkins to the 30. Approaching the 2-minute mark. 2nd and 10 at the 18. Ford, originally lined out wide, will move to the backfield as Flacco will go short. He's got Jamari Thrash hit hard at the 7 by Simpson. Following the 2-minute warning, 1st and goal. Flacco goes short for Big Booty Judy. Touchdown Cleveland. The Browns will make it a little bit closer. Now we're still kind of going to need a miracle, but an impressive drive from Flacco and friends in the stadium where he played for a decade. The onside kick will be recovered. Sanusi Kane has got it for the Ravens, and that should just about do it. Baltimore starts the campaign 2-0 as they beat Cleveland 29-17, and the Browns fall to 0-2. The defense played a lot better in this game than week 1. I thought the pass defense was actually quite good overall. The coverage was really solid, especially with their receivers. They didn't do a whole lot. The pass rush was better. We had 3 sacks. The run defense was not great, but to be fair, most run defenses are not very good against the Ravens. The offense had their good moments, but also their bad. 2 turnovers, 3 failed 4th down conversions. Statistically, Lamar and Flacco were actually pretty close. Lamar had a couple more big throws, but overall, kind of comparable game through the air. The big difference is that Lamar Jackson averaged almost 10 yards per carry on the ground. Yeah, he was a handful to deal with. Although I thought we did a better job in the second half containing him as a runner minus the 51-yarder. It was the opposite, though, for Derrick Henry, who started off really slow and then really got going. And then we just could not run the ball. Ford had the fumble. Judkins was quieter. Sampson was not great. David Njoku, though, 10 for 118. He had a phenomenal game despite the loss. Andrews had 137, but Zay Flowers, 1 catch for 8 yards. DeAndre Hopkins, 1 for 7. Our corners did a great job with them. And then defensively, yeah, this kid can play. 13 tackles, 6 for a loss for Schlesinger. He's got to improve in coverage. He's not great there, but as a run defender, he is elite. 5 TFLs, 2 sacks for Garrett. Mason Graham had the other. And then, of course, a handful of turnovers each way. Mohamed Diabate, one of our key special teamers, pulled his groin, though. He'll be out for a month and a half or so. That's not ideal. We already don't have that much depth at linebacker. We'll probably have to add someone through free agency. Let's take a look at our weekly recap through the rest of the NFL. We will start in Baltimore. The Cleveland Browns at 0-1, looking to get a divisional win. And obviously, as we just saw, that was not the case. The Ravens win it 29-17 with timely defensive stops, forcing 2 turnovers and 3 failed 4th downs, along with over 100 yards rushing for Lamar. 1-0 Broncos, 1-0 Colts in Indianapolis, the Peyton Manning Bowl. Denver put up a 50 spot last week, but it was the Colts and Anthony Richardson who got the win, 17-10. The Broncos probably should have donated some of those points from last week to today. Colts 2-0 on the year. Not a bad start for us here at Anthony Richardson FC. We'll head over to Houston. 1-0 Buccaneers, 1-0 Texans. It was Coleridge Bernard Stroud IV leading the Texans with this ridiculous touchdown by Nico Collins. If Nico is not in your top 5 wide receiver list, your list is wrong. Texans win it 27-21. The AFC South, other than Tennessee, is looking pretty sharp so far this year as we take a look at some scores across the rest of the NFL. The Jaguars beat the Bengals. Cincinnati only scores 14. That's not a great look for us from week 1. As for the players of the week, Caleb Williams leading the Bears to an upset over Detroit, along with CJ Stroud, Bobby Okereke, and Tuli Tuipulotu. Got an NFC North triple header upcoming. Packers, Lions, Vikings. I think all 3 are going to be in the next episode, including a trip to London for the Browns. That'll wrap things up. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.